Buenos dias, muchachos y muchachas. Today is April 13th, 2020. Hoy es, let's practice, ready? 13 de abril, año 2020. All right, try by yourself. Let's see if you can do it. Very good. I hope you guys had an awesome weekend, a great weekend. Hopefully, staying safe, staying at home with your families, and having a great time. Let's start off this week by going over the schedule. Now, I need you to pay attention because I'm not going to write out the schedule on the stream. So I'm just going to show it to you in this video. It's very simple. That's why I'm doing it as well. So I'm going to open up my calendar. And as most of you guys know, they switched the schedule around a little bit. Basically, what that will look like is you guys are going to have classes Mondays and Tuesdays. Wednesday is going to be a catch-up day, so it's work, so you guys can catch up on work, and teachers will be available in the morning for their office hours on Wednesdays, and then we're going to have lessons on Thursday and Friday. What our schedule will look like for this class this week is we're going to finish today's going to be the last day. We're going to look at definite and indefinite articles. Usually, I only spend 2 class times with this one, but I really wanted to give you guys, since we're doing it remotely, a good amount of time to work on it, to understand it, and to practice, because it's 4 different ways to write the word the, or to say the word the. So I wanted you to get a good amount of practice. So today we're going to finish reviewing it. Today's the 13th. I'm also going to give you an exit ticket today. Now, as always, the exit tickets are not due on the same day. You have about 3 days for the exit ticket, because the exit ticket is only 10 questions. So in this one, it's just on definite and indefinite articles. So it'll look a lot like what you've been doing on the Quizlets. So you just pick one of the 4, the one that belongs, okay? So we're going to finish reviewing definite and indefinite articles on today. Your exit ticket is due Wednesday the 15th. Now, I know we're not supposed to assign anything to be due this on Wednesday, but you have 3 days. So you have today, you have tomorrow, and you have until the end of Wednesday to do the exit ticket. It is only 10 questions, so please do it as soon as you can. That way you don't have to worry about it. The rest of the week is going to look like this. We are going to start on a concept that is the hardest thing I will teach you this trimester. But it's okay, because we're going to have plenty of time to work on it. What I'm going to be teaching you is basically a verb, kind of like how I taught you 4 different ways to say the word the, or to write the word the. I'm going to teach you one verb this week. So tomorrow we're going to get started. Wednesday, I'll let you guys catch up, whatever work you guys need. And then we'll finish the rest of the week, 16th and 17th. We're going to be working on that verb. So 13th, finish reviewing definite and indefinite articles. The 14th, we're going to start the verb. The 16th, we're going to work on the verb. 17th, we're going to finish the verb. And your exit ticket is due by midnight on the 15th. If you have any questions, please reach out to me during my office hours. If you're wondering when this chapter will finish, we are actually almost at the end. After I teach you the verb, we're going to practice this week of the 20th. We're going to review. So this will be a review week. And you should have, I will let you know next week, but you should have your first summative either the 23rd, which is a Thursday, or the 24th, which is a Friday. I will let you know ahead of time as well. I'm giving you that heads up now that it's going to be next week, your first summative. By then, you should have 3 formatives. So you have exit ticket 1 that was already due. Exit ticket 2 will be due on the 15th, and you should look for exit ticket 3 to be due sometime next week, as well as your summative. We'll talk more about it as the week moves along. All right. For today, I just want you to watch the video. Let's see, it says, I want you to watch the video, because I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna review the definite and indefinite articles in the interactive version of the textbook. That helps a lot of the visual learners a lot. And what I would like you to do after you watch that video is I want you to practice either on the Quizlet that I showed you the other day. So you can practice this Quizlet right over here. You just have to go on the stream and scroll down. I want you to practice for about, 5 to 10 minutes, get a little more practice in. Or if you've been doing the worksheet, this is what the first part looked like. You can look at it on the stream. It is there as well. So you can work on this one too. And I attached today the second part of it because the second part of it also includes adjectives. It follows the same guidelines, so it's the same thing. You got to worry about gender, and then if it's singular or plural, it's the same thing. So you can work on this one too. And I did put the answer key as well. So if you did this one and you want to work on this one today, you want to see what the answers are, I put the answer key as well. Okay. About the exit tickets. So, last thing before I start the lesson about the exit tickets. Most of you did the exit tickets. I will be grading them. I should be finished grading them by today, so you will see them on Power School. Again, for the next one, the one that's due on Wednesday, you will see it up here as well. But I wrote it here just in case. And I will keep my policy of missing or late assignments can be turned in at any time, but only for a maximum of 70%. So basically what that means is if you turn your assignments on time, you can get full credit. And I'm hoping everybody turns them in on time because these exit tickets are only going to be maximum 10 questions and they're pretty easy. They're not too bad. They're your formative assessments. However, if it's missing or if it's late, you can still turn it in, but I can only give you a max of 70 on it. The most you can get is a 70. Okay? Now, let's say you take the exit ticket on time, but you don't do well on it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to literally write the answers on the exit ticket and I'm going to give it back to you with a grade. If you get below a 70 on it, you can use my answers, correct the ones that you got wrong, and resubmit it, and I can give you up to a 70. So let's say you got a 60 on it on a formative side, like exit ticket one. Let's say you got a 60 on exit ticket one, and you didn't do so well, and you really really wanted to do better. You can just resubmit it with the correct answers, and you can get up to a 70 on it. Okay. This is only for formative assessments. Summative assessments, you can only take the test once, and that's it. Okay? If you have any questions, please let me know. I will attach this little information at the bottom of the exit tickets so that you know. Okay. So let's get started with today's lesson. Let's see. So this is the interactive version of the textbook. Just for my sixth grade, remember you have access to this textbook online. I'm not 100% sure if you're able to access this portion of the textbook, but it is cool that you can access the textbook online because a lot of the textbook online, you can click on buttons and it'll say the words to you so you can practice along. For the rest of you guys, hopefully you're just watching the videos and practicing at home. Remember, practicing. I'm not there to hear you or to see you practice, so hopefully you're doing the practice at home, okay? That's the best we can hope for this trimester, given the circumstances. All right, let's get started. I'm going to give you 3 words for these 3 objects. They're going to be in English and they're going to be in Spanish. So first things first, a noun is a person, place, or thing. So we have a person, that's a guy, right? We have a place, and we have a thing. And it just reminded me, this little portion just reminded me that we forgot to do the do now. So let's go back. The do now, really quickly. Try to write the following sentence in Spanish. The student is tall. And I told you that the student is a female, so that should give you a clue. Go ahead, pausing point. Try to write this sentence in Spanish. The student is tall. Okay, it should look something like this. The first thing I'm going to look at is my noun. because my noun is going to give me the clue that I need, or the two clues that I need for this word, the. The student is female. So you could have said alumno or alumna, but it's female, so alumna. All right. Now I know, because it's a female, that the one that I want to use for the word the correct definite article is la. Why? Because it's only one student and it's a female student. So out of the four choices, this is the correct one, la. We have la alumna es, that's how you say is in Spanish, es, and then tall. I'm going to look at my sentence. Female word, or feminine word, feminine word. So my adjective should be feminine. And right here I have the sentence. The student is tall, and more specifically, female student. La alumna es alta. Okay. Let's go back. So we have our three objects. We have a guy, we have a school. Yes, this looks like a school. Or it looks like a bank, but it's really a school. And we have a piñata. Now, definite articles. The. Look at what happens in English. Ready? Oops. You have. I thought I was going to show it here. Interesting. You have. If you were going to say, use the word the, you would say the boy, the school, the piñata. Right? We have a boy, we have a school, we have a piñata. Now in Spanish, these three words, we have muchacho, escuela, and piñata. Okay? Now look at the definite articles. Notice how we put the same thing no matter what the ending of the word is in English. We just use the word the. But in Spanish, remember, you got to worry about the gender of the words. So this one, easy to tell the gender because it's a guy. Notice the ending is an O. So the definite article we're going to use is el. El muchacho. Ready? Practice. El muchacho. Good. Now the word for school in Spanish is escuela, and it ends in an A. So that tells you it's a feminine word, and it's just one school. So out of the four choices, you would go with this one because it's just one school. La escuela. La escuela. And last but not least, we have another feminine word because it ends in A, piñata. And it's the same thing. We only have one piñata. Out of the four choices, you're going to pick la piñata. Okay? Next one. Now, we're going to look at not only gender, but we're also going to look at number. Basically, are we talking about one thing or many things? So, we have el muchacho, like we did in the last one. In this one, we have an example where we have another masculine word, taco. It ends in O. So, it's el taco. We have muchacha now. So, we have the girl, la muchacha. And notice how the book or this interactive version highlights the ending for you. So for those of you that are visual learners, so hopefully you can see where it's coming from. How do I know if it's masculine or feminine? And then enchilada. Enchilada is kind of like a burrito. And the ending is also feminine. So it's going to be la enchilada. Okay? So let's practice the words. El muchacho, el taco, la muchacha, la enchilada. Now we're going to look at these four objects and what happens to the sentence when we make it plural. Okay? Take a look. Instead of saying el muchacho, now we have two boys. How do you think this sentence is going to change? Let's look at the word muchacho. What can we add to the ending of the word to make it plural? If you said S, add an S, you're correct. You just add an S to the word muchacho. But then in Spanish, yes, Spanish is a little trickier. You have to, every word in the sentence has to agree. So we can't just leave it el muchacho and then just add an S at the end. Because now that you're talking about more than one boy, you can't use the definite article el. it becomes los. Ready? El muchacho becomes los muchachos. What do you think is going to happen to el taco? What is it going to change into? Pausing point. It becomes los tacos. Notice the difference, or notice how it changed. You add an S at the end of the masculine word to make it plural, and then you have to change the definite article because now you're talking about more than one thing. Take a look at what happens with the word muchacha. La muchacha becomes, pausing point, las muchachas. Okay, same thing. You add an S at the end of the word to make it plural, and then you change the definite article to agree with the sentence. Talking about two girls now. So it becomes las. And la enchilada, pausing point, becomes las enchiladas. So hopefully you noticed that from singular to plural, for the word, the noun, or the adjective, you add an S. For the definite article, or the word the, you have to figure out singular, plural, male, female. Okay. Now, indefinite articles, it's the same system. You have to figure out the gender and how many. So let's just take a look at how they did that. A boy is un muchacho. A taco is just un taco. So same thing. Notice, un becomes unos and muchacho becomes muchachos. Now they're plural. Un taco becomes, pausing point, unos tacos. Same thing. You notice how we went from un to unos. Un, unos. Because now you have more than one. Una muchacha becomes, pausing point, unas muchachas. Y una enchilada becomes unas enchiladas. Ready? Un, una, unos, unas. Okay? Indefinite articles, things that are abstract. You're not talking about a specific thing. Some boys, some tacos, a boy, a taco, some girls, some enchiladas. Go figure. Okay, we're gonna skip this little game because we can't all play it at once. But the last thing I wanted to show you in this video is you may have noticed that at the end of, let me just show you. On Friday, when I wanted you guys to practice the definite and indefinite articles, I wanted you to watch these two videos. When you watched this one with this professor guy, this teacher, he's a little weird, but it's okay. He talked about adjectives as well. So all I want to show you is that we talked about definite and indefinite articles, the words the. And in order to figure out which one, you look at the noun. But an adjective also describes a noun, and you can use adjectives to help you figure the sentence out as well. So let me show you what I mean. Here we have a sentence that says, el amigo. Amigo means friend. And what kind of friend? Is it a boy that's a friend or a girl that's a friend? It's a boy because it ends in O, the friend. Now we can say something about that friend because we've been also talking about adjectives. So let's look at what adjectives they throw in these sentences. Nuevo. Nuevo means new. And notice how the adjective also ends in what kind of a word? Masculine or feminine? Masculine. It would make sense. You have the friend, that's a boy, right? So the sentence is entirely masculine and singular. Singular, 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 masculine, masculine, masculine. Okay? Look at this sentence. La amiga nueva. You're still using that word new, but because you're talking about a girl now, you change the ending to a. Okay? Now, the thing you've been used to this so far. It's been pretty consistent so far. Whenever you have a masculine word, you just add an O. Feminine word, you just add an A. If you want to make it plural, take a look at what happens. This one changes completely. Amigo, you add an S, and look at this one. The adjective, you also have to make plural. So you add an S. See if you can figure out what the next one's going to look like. La amiga nueva. What's that one going to look like here when it's plural? Pausing point. Las amigas nuevas. Okay? So notice how it keeps it consistent. Now, what I wanted to show you is that when you have an adjective that ends in E, and this is probably super important because on the exit ticket, you're going to get one little curveball, just one. All the 10 questions, 9 out of the 10 questions are very straightforward. You have to know the gender, singular or plural. But there is one that's going to have an adjective or a word that's going to end in E. Now, how do you know what gender it is? If you're watching the video, I'm going to give you the answer to one of the exit ticket questions. The word that they use is the word escuela. So now I'm going to go back so I can show you what gender escuela is. Remember escuela? Do you remember what gender it is, male or female? It is female, feminine. So remember this for the exit ticket. Escuela, feminine. You have to know what gender it is. So if you're watching the video, you'll know one of the answers. Okay? You're welcome. All right. So we talked about this, we talked about that, how they're plural. Now, because the ending is in an E and it doesn't tell us the gender, what you do is you just keep this word the same. Notice how it's the same for the masculine sentence and the feminine sentence. The boy is intelligent, or the intelligent boy, the intelligent girl. Now notice what happens when it's plural. The intelligent boys, the intelligent girls. The only thing they did to that word, they didn't change the gender. You keep it E because it ends in E, so you just keep it. You just add an S to make it consistent that it's plural. Okay? You don't have to worry about gender when it ends in E. And this one, I'm not gonna worry about it too much because this is what happens when it ends in a consonant. And this one, you have to do a couple of things, so I'm just gonna skip it. I'm not gonna teach you that. Okay? The most important thing is that it masculine ends in O, feminine ends in A. If you're making them plural, make sure the entire sentence is plural, okay? And if you ever get a word that ends in E, you have to know the gender. If the sentence doesn't tell you what gender it's going to be, you have to know what the word is, okay? That's just how it is. And that, my friends, is the end of today's lesson. So, you can do this one, this little worksheet thing if you want to practice. Go on Quizlet if you want to practice your definite and indefinite articles. Here's the Quizlet. You just got to scroll down a little bit. But it would be a good idea for you guys to get a couple minutes in of practice before you take the exit ticket. The exit ticket's not hard. I already gave you an answer to one of them. Okay? So work on this exit ticket. Make sure you do it by Wednesday. All right? Don't get into the bad habit of turning stuff in late because it will affect your grade. I'm not the type of teacher that likes to fail students. I don't think I make my class pretty hard either. Just make sure you're doing your work. Okay? 10 questions. It'll take you probably 15 minutes to do. So make sure you do it by Wednesday. All right, guys? If you have any questions, please reach out to me. Espero que tengan una buena semana. Hope you have a good week. Y nos vemos mañana. I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay? Have a good day.